Now, as we have all the predecessors entered into the Gantt chart, we can use this Gantt chart for our project schedule. As a project manager, you can use this project schedule and make some assessment of your project. For example, how sensitive your project is. The sensitivity of a project means what is the chance or the possibilities that your critical path will change in your project when the project carries on. To answer these questions, you have to find how many critical paths do you have in this project. In this example, you can see that we have only one critical path. That means this project is relatively not sensitive. The other information you need to assess is the slack of those non-critical activities. The more slacks those activities have, the less sensitive your project is. To see the slack information, you will go to the View menu. Use the drop-down box of Tables here. We are currently at the entry view where we are entering all the tasks. You will need to switch to Schedule table to see the slacks. This is the Schedule table. We have some old columns here, task name, start and finish time. And we also have some new columns like late start, late finish. And the last two columns here are the slacks information we're looking for, free slack and the total slack. Now, first of all, what's the difference between free slack and the total slack? You will notice that there is slightly different numbers for these two columns. For total slack, we have 2 days slack for code B, 3 days for purchase hardware, 3 days for assemble hardware. However, for the free slack, it shows 0 day for purchase hardware. By definition, total slack means the days that you could delay these tasks without get your project delayed. While for the free slacks, those numbers shows how many days your task can be delayed without affecting the right next task. So you can see in the Gantt chart here, purchase hardware, the waiting period between, and the assemble hardware are working like a stream of tasks. If you delayed any one of these two tasks, it may not affect the whole project. So both of them have 3-day total slacks. However, that doesn't mean each of them can take their own 3-day slack at the same time. In this case, the free slack may show a more accurate information. When you delayed purchase hardware, it will delayed assemble hardware. That's why 0 days free slack for purchase hardware. However, if you delayed assemble hardware for 3 days, it will not affect the next milestone here. So in the total slacks, those numbers show the possible delayed time for each of the tasks individually. However, you should also keep an eye on the free slack because that indicates the delay you can have for a string of tasks. Now you know the slack times for non-critical activities in your project. Compared to the 24 days duration of the whole project, we will say it's not really sensitive of this project.